Good morning, students. Today we start with the second chapter of Snapshots. It is The Address. The title of the story, it is indicating that we are talking about a place where a person lives, our native place, the place where we are born, the place where our ancestors, our forefathers were living. It is always very precious to us because we have inherited that place from someone. We feel proud to introduce ourselves that we are the residents of so and so. We even get adapted to the environment and each and every lane's violence of that surrounding and feel ourselves as a proud native of that place. It is for everyone. In whichever corner of the world we are born, we have the same feeling for that place. But everybody is not that fortunate to survive in that same place. There are sometimes very unusual happenings and which forces us to leave that place and run away. This story has the similar background here. It is about a war and the post effect of war. What happens? It is not fight between two countries, but it is so many people losing out their lives, their belongings, their near and dear ones. Here, the author of the story considers herself as one of those unlucky people, and she is sharing her feelings in the form of the story The Address. So first we will see about author. Marga Minko was a Dutch journalist and writer. Born in a Jewish family, Minko began her work as a trainee journalist. She is trying to narrate her personal emotions in this story. The story is set against the background of World War II. The narrator was the daughter of Mrs. S. They were Jews living in Germany and in perpetual danger of being imprisoned and prosecuted. Most Jews were leaving their homes and going away to safer places. The Address is a very touching story. You can tell it a tale of war as it narrates two situations, one before the Liberation War and the other post war period. It revolves around the young daughter of Mrs. S, who, in good faith, allows her old time friend Mrs. Sterling to carry away all table silver and precious old things to her own house for safe keeping. The narrator, during her first homecoming, notices many things missing. When she came back home a second time, she saw Mrs. Sterling taking away a heavy suitcase. She was also told by her mother to remember the address of Mrs. Sterling. After the liberation, when the situation became normal, the narrator felt to see the things and she wanted to touch each and every article. She went to Marconi Street, address to see Mrs. Sterling. There, she got a very cold response from her and was not allowed to come inside. When she went there second time, Mrs. Sterling's daughter invited her inside. The narrator was sad to see all her mother's precious articles kept in untidy way. and in a very tasteless manner. Then she decided not to recover them, not to remember them. She even took a decision to forget the address. The narrator is trying to console herself that even if I get all those precious things, where will I keep them? I don't have any house of my own. My address is lost. And at this moment, she is staying in a rented house where there is hardly any space to keep these things. So this is the story that I have told you in nutshell. Now we will start with the line by line explanation of the chapter. So we will begin. Do you still know me? I asked. The woman looked at me searchingly. She had opened the door a chink. I came closer and stood on the step. No, I don't know you. I am Mrs. S. daughter. Narrator is now going to her address, that means her home. Okay, and now everything is settled. The war is over, things have become normal, but she is expecting that this lady will recognize her, but she is not ready to recognize. And this lady, what we will see in this story, is Mrs. Sterling. She held her hand on the door as though she wanted to prevent it opening. Chink here is its very narrow opening. She was not opening the door. Okay, something was preventing her. She had some intention that I should not allow this girl to come inside. Her face gave absolutely no sign of recognition. She kept staring at me in silence. She didn't want to recognize the author. Perhaps I was mistaken. Now the author is feeling maybe I have come to the wrong address, so she is not able to recognize me. I thought perhaps it isn't her. I had seen her only once, fleetingly, and that was years ago. Fleetingly is for a very short time, for a very short moment. Now she saw this lady long time back, years back, and that also for a very short time. So now somewhere she is feeling that maybe I am wrong. It was most probable that I had rung the wrong bell. The woman let go of the door and stepped to the side. She was wearing my mother's green knitted cardigan. Now, this was the only thing how she could make sure that she came to the correct address because this particular cardigan belongs to her mother who is no more right now. So, with that cardigan, she could make out that this is the correct place where I have come. The wooden buttons were rather pale from washing. That means this lady was using that cardigan very regularly. She saw that I was looking at the cardigan and half hid herself again behind the door. Now she could make out that this girl is looking at her cardigan. So maybe because of that she is trying to hide behind the door. But I knew now that I was right, 100% correct. She came to the correct address. Now see the next question. Well, you know my mother, I asked. Have you come back? Said the woman. I thought that no one had come back, only me. Now this lady, she has become little conscious that is it your whole family's back? She is asking this. And what the author is replying, only me. That means only I have come back, no one else. A door opened and closed in the passage behind her. a musty smell emerged. Now, this is telling that the house was kept in a very unorganized way. No proper cleanliness, no health and hygiene. That is why that smell was coming. I regret I cannot do anything for you. Directly she is telling, I cannot do anything for you. I am sorry. That means you can go back. I won't allow you to come inside. Okay. I have come here, specially on the train. I wanted to talk to you for a moment. Now, very politely, in a very humble way, she is keeping her statement that I just want to talk to you. It's not that I will come and reside here. It is not convenient for me now, said the woman. I can't see you. Another time, the lady is directly telling, I don't have any time for you. I don't want to meet you. You come sometime again. That means right at this moment, you go from here. Directly, she is ignoring this girl. Narrator. She nodded and cautiously closed the door, as though no one inside the house should be disturbed. Now, finally, she closed the door. So, if the door is closed, that means you are supposed to move away from there. There is no entry for you. That is the indication when the door is closed. And along with that, she is not even informing to any member of her family that somebody has come. She doesn't want this thing to be shared by anyone in the family. Or you can say directly ignoring the matter. Okay, so I think this is all about today's class. The next part I will upload in the